Hey guys, welcome to a hands-on and first look at the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Plus or Note 20 Ultra. Samsung is going to launch two N-series phone this year, basically a third one, which is most likely going to be launched 6 to 8 months later. The first phone being the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 and the second phone being Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Plus, aka Note 20 Ultra. For the sake of preventing any more confusion in naming, I'm going to be referring it as Note 20 Plus for the entire video. Also, stay tuned till the end of the video, guys, because I have some questions for you to answer which will potentially save you around 30 to 40% of the phone's price, so that you can also save yourself from paying around 12 or $1,300, or even matter of fact around 1.2 lakhs or 1.3 lakh. So stay tuned till the end of the video. I'll be putting in timestamps so that you can head over to that part of the video if you wish to see that first. So let's begin. The Samsung Galaxy Note 20 series are going to come in two variants, the Snapdragon 865 Plus and the Exynos 992 chipset, both of which are a minor upgrade from the predecessors, the Snapdragon 865 and Exynos 990, and everyone right off the back is aware that the Snapdragon 865 Plus is going to outperform the Exynos 992 chipset in terms of both performance and battery life. This time around, the Snapdragon variant is going to come with dual SIM support, but there's a catch. It's going to have only a single physical SIM slot, and the other slot is going to be used for the SD card. The secondary SIM is going to be incorporated as an eSIM, just like in Apple iPhones. Compared to the Exynos variant, it's going to have two physical SIM slot, but it's going to be a hybrid solution, meaning that it's going to either have the ability to use one SIM and one SD card at a time, or two SIMs and no SD card. The SD card support is expandable until 1 TB. And speak about storage, the Note 20 Plus this year is most likely going to come with a base variant of 256 GB and 12 gigs of RAM, and the 512 GB variant is going to come with 16 gigs of RAM. Speak about physical aspects of the phone is going to be similar to its predecessor, the Note 10 Plus, but the main difference is, just like the S20 series, the Note 20 series will come with less of a curvature on its size, less of a waterfall display. Just like the S20 series, the Note 20 series is going to come with a single punch hole display with dynamic AMOLED 120Hz refresh rate, which can be bumped down to 60Hz, but I think so this time around Samsung is going to enable via software the ability or automatic refresh rate, basically meaning that when the user is not using the phone, it will bump down to 60 Hz, and when the user starts using the phone, it will bump back to 120 Hz refresh rate. Also, one more major thing is that compared to the S20 series or previous models which came with the under display ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, this time around with the upgrade in both the Exynos and Snapdragon chipsets, the area of fingerprint on the Note 20 series is going to be larger, which is going to be helpful for people when registering and also scanning their fingerprint and unlocking the phone as well. The major physical difference compared to the predecessors or previous Note models is this year's phone is going to be a boon for the left-handers and a bane for the right-handers, because as you can see, Samsung has shifted both the speaker and the S Pen slot from the right side of the charging port to the left side of the charging port, which is confusing to me and raising lots of questions as to why Samsung would do such a thing. Because speak about battery, in case they were upgrading the size of the battery, that would be a good thing. But from what rumors are suggesting, that the battery is going to be a 4500 milliamp, which places it between the S20 and S20 Ultra, because the S20 had 4000 milliamp battery and the S20 Ultra has 5000 milliamp battery. And yes, the S Pen will definitely take up, but why would they shift it from right to left? It's just Samsung has to answer that question. Now, coming to the camera department, the phone will come with triple rear camera support, the primary camera being a 13 megapixel 50x hybrid zoom. The secondary camera is going to be a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, and the third camera is going to be the 108 megapixel super zoom camera. The camera compared to the previous models or the S20 is going to be slightly larger and have a bigger bump. And also this time around, because S20 series had a major focusing issue, is going to incorporate laser autofocus, which is a good thing. And Samsung, compared to its predecessors up till S10 and the Note 10, had dual pixel autofocus, which they removed from the S20 series, which basically destroyed its reputation of having very good autofocus. Talking about the front camera is going to be a 40 megapixel camera. Hope so this time around Samsung fixes and optimizes the 108 megapixel camera, because if you have already seen the previous S20 Ultra's camera samples, everyone knows that the S20 Ultra's maximum best photo capacity was up till 50 or 60 zoom, but after that when it reached 108 megapixel it was not viable to use it, and hope so Samsung optimizes it so that it's not considered a gimmick but a feature. In terms of video recording, the camera on the Note 20 is going to be supporting 8K at 24 fps and 4K at 60 and 30 fps, and as usual 1080p. Same goes for the front camera. It also going to support 4K at 30 or 60 fps, but 8K, and not many displays and not many people have 8Ks. Actually majority don't have 8K support, but having it is good thing. But if Samsung doesn't optimize its quality, then having 8K is just going to be numbers and it's not going to make a difference. Now speak about S Pen, compared to its predecessors, it's just a minor upgrade. What they're trying to say is that the S Pen is going to become a pointer feature which is used in slideshow presentation, which I feel is not that much of an upgrade compared to its predecessor, because if Samsung chooses, it can most likely send an OTA to its predecessors to also incorporate the pointer feature, because most of the Note series already have Bluetooth compatibility in its S Pen. Now begs the question, the most important question, whether to buy the phone or not. Let me be blunt. If you can put off from purchasing this, even if you're in United States or European countries or the Middle Eastern countries or in India, don't purchase the device right at this launch of the phone. Postpone it to another couple of weeks or even months, because Samsung is going to launch the S20 Lite and Note 20 Lite in couple of weeks and months. So that I feel is better devices in terms of price to performance ratio in comparison to the main flagships, the S20 series and the Note 20 series. Indians who are watching this, if you want to buy a phone, own a flagship phone and use it in India, and you want me to explain and make a buyer's guide in detail how you can save around 20 to 30,000. If you want to see it, just head over to the comment section down below. And if you're having any doubts whether it's compatible with the Indian markets or respective markets, and also whether VoLTE support and OTA update support will come, 100% sure that is going to be compatible with the Indian markets if you're going to be buying from USA as well, or Europe, or even matter of fact Middle East. And also if you have any other queries, you can comment down, or you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter and shoot me a message. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell icon so that you get instant update when I upload a new video. Thank you and have a good day. Peace.